Hotep, Black Power. It's your brother Shaka saying Kofi here today. Always giving honor to the Creator and the ancestors. Also giving honor to my sister, Chief of Staff Brother Harris Abdul, who are in their organic states right now on the ancestral realm. May we continue to gather and ask for strength and energy from them so we can continue our journey on this plane, as well as all our ancestors, those who gave their lives, especially during the Middle Passage. What I wanted to talk about today is how we support being the biggest consumers on the planet. We spend our money stays in the black community. It only exchanged one hand. That's from our hands to the crackers' hands, and to the Jewish community, to the Korean community, and so forth and so on. We buy all the hair weaves. We buy all Jordan sneakers. By the way, speaking of Jordan, who is one of the largest investors in CCA, Corrections Corporations of America, the prison industrial complex, who is responsible for the incarceration of millions of black men and women. He's a major investor of that. And we spend millions on videos and clothing, purses, handbags, but we don't spend not one dime with the people that are trying to fight for our liberation and salvation. Not one dime. Not one dime. And then if we do make any type of contributions, we bitch and whine and complain about it so much that to the point that it's just sickening. Where a lot of these movements and organizations have surrendered into even requesting any type of contributions. So most of these I'm talking about the real organizations and movements, these grassroots underground movements, not the NAACP, none of those Black Lives Matter, none of that Jewish owned, lesbian, LGBT owned bullshit. None of that. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about these underground and these grassroots movements that are out there in the community, you know, feeding the homeless, providing care, health care, substance abuse, trying to create breakfast programs for the babies, and so on and so on. You know, you raise hell about helping them out, but yet you want to see a change in your community, you know, but you spend your rent money and your electric bill money getting a hair weave, you know, or your cable or your cable bill money, you know, buying some Jordans for a little baby that don't know what's going on, because you're not buying them for them, you're buying them for you, so somebody can give you some false credit for being a so-called good parent. But what are you putting in his head? Because that's what it's about. Not what you're putting on his feet, but what are you putting on his head? Because what you put on his feet that's supposed to come naturally. You're not supposed to get no type of a ticker tape parade for buying some clothes, shoes and clothing for your own seeds. But what are you putting in his or her head to making them conscious as to what is going on? Or are you just breeding another generation of robots to the slaughterhouse as victims of racism, white supremacy? The movie Underground, you know, we should all take a look at that movie. You know, and like I've always told y'all, you know, about FEMA kicking doors and, you know, taking our people to these FEMA internment camps and exterminating us. You know, these things are possible. Don't think that they're not trying to create a situation where the martial law is implemented, because they have the right people in place to implement it. You know, the same people that y'all have voted in office. You know, some of you niggas who endorse the devil, the top devil. You got two devils, Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Trump. So it doesn't matter which devil you get, whether you get lethal injection or the electric chair. You take your pick of your demise. But you got Trump in office, which most of you coons have endorsed, and there he has selected the right people to implement martial law with no conscience whatsoever when they implement it, and no regard for human life, not melanated human life anyway. You know, and the Wal-Marts, when I explained to y'all about the Wal-Marts, how they have underground cities, and they're so big, and that's why Walmart sells just about anything, because it's almost like one huge city. Because Walmart is trying to be situated where you don't have to leave out of there for anything, gas or anything. And so when they implement martial law, you know, and put you under the ground in those underground cities under the Wal-Marts, which, even if you're still not a believer of it, just turn the word Wal-Mart around. It spells martial law. Just turn the words around. You don't have to mumbo jumbo and scramble them. Just turn the words around. Turn the word wall around. It spells law. And Mart is martial law. That's why they're having these movies underground, where they show us constantly running from these fucking crackers, seeking refuge and shelter and protection from this goddamn devil. And a lot of you don't even watch it because you're so busy worrying about what's going on in the sports world, you know, or looking for some type of something to watch where it involves black on black crime. You know, the splattering of black blood all on the streets and sidewalks of the United States of America. Not only in the movies, but on the streets as well. And I also want to talk about this character, Snoop Dogg, who, if you look at the history of this, I believe he's an agent. I believe he's a government agent. If you look at the demise and the ascensions and murders of all the premier rap stars of the 90s, you'll see that Snoop Dogg wasn't too far. He wasn't too far. He was always in the picture of the demise of especially these three brothers, Eazy, Tupac Shakur, and Biggie Smalls. Snoop was always in the vicinity. Now, he made when Eazy and Dr. Dre had a falling out, and they began making these diss songs about each other in these videos, Snoop went in and helped Dre clown Eazy without even knowing Eazy, not even knowing the situation, but he jumped right in. You know, and that was just to make his contribution to the black on black violence that he is a major endorser of over the years. He has always endorsed black on black violence, always claiming to be this big gangbanger and this gangster out of Long Beach. You know, which I believe he paid in cash his allegiance just to be able to say that he was a gangbanger. But I believe he was an agent, because when you do the research, which I have done, I found out that his true biological father was a CIA operative during the Vietnam War. And so, you know, and then when Tupac met his demise, when they were on the plane, Snoop kept asking Pac, was he going to Vegas? 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 to the Bruce Seldon Mike Tyson fight. Pac kept ignoring him. But why were you so interested in Pac going to Las Vegas to the fight when you didn't even attend? You just wanted to ensure that this assassination probably was in place, because I believe you had a hand in that too. Because you claim to be Southside Crip or from Long Beach, and Orlando Anderson, the one who is supposedly have pulled the trigger on Pop. He's a Southside Crip as well, or Compton Crip. Same affiliation. Yeah, and when it came to B.I.G., you know, you went to New York on Angie Martinez's show. You done stated that you had love for Biggie. So why would you state that you have love for someone out of the blue? But it was really you and this faggot P. Diddy, who was very extremely complicit in assisting the FBI and the LAPD and the NYPD into the assassination of Notorious B.I.G. So there you have it. And if you're confused about it, you can do the research yourself and you'll come up with the same conclusions. You know, that's why it's so important for us to begin to stand up. And a shout out to brother Che Rhymefest Smith, who's running for the 20th Ward in Chicago, which is one of the most notorious violent-prone wards in Chicago, running against this ex-cop, nigga cop, who they got into a debate, which the fucking cracker officiated the debate, instigated the fucking debate on Chicago News Television, instigated the fucking debate because he enjoyed to see two black people go at it, you know. But the only thing this coon could say about Rhymefest was that he had a prior criminal record that was over 10 years old, you know, and that's the only thing he could use against him. Other than that, you know, it was nothing that he had on the brother. And this brother is very articulate. He's very committed. You know, he's very, very hands-on, oriented into the hoods, you know, of Chicago, and in other cities as well, you know, but you know, one city at a time, you know. And then a lot of people in Chicago continue to vote for this motherfucking nigga cop. You know, because once again, like I said, when the committed people come to you, we reject the committed and we fuck with the sellouts and we fuck with the coons. We put the coons on a pedestal. Because if you notice, the only blacks that are talking this piece shit and there's only one color, I'm not an African American and all this bullshit that endorses Trump and does all this sellout bullshit, are the motherfucking niggas that have a little something that the cracker has given him. But you don't hear the have-nots. You don't hear the dying cry of the oppressed yell about it's just one color, because they can distinctively see day to day that it's a division of color in this goddamn country. You know, but you niggas, you know, Daz Bryant, all you niggas, and Ray Lewis and Stephen A. Smith, and you know, all you goddamn coons and bed wenches and slut motherfucking hoes and hoes like Serena Williams, Raven Simone, Stacey Dash, all you slut ball motherfucking bed wenches, you know, that sell out our sisters out on a daily and consistent basis, you know, along with you coon motherfucking niggas. That's why it's important to watch the underground, so you can see coonism in full effect. Coonism then and coonism now. And you'll see that it's not much of a difference. It's not much of a difference. Because you know what? Cooning is cooning. And once again, like I said, the only ones that you hear hollering this, you know, this Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter bullshit, and, you know, we all one color, let's get along, and I don't see racism, and, you know, it's your fault that you're in the hood. All this negative, you know, downplay of the black community, of your own brothers and sisters, because you hate yourself. So anything that resembles you, you have a heavy despise for that, for those. And so the ones that the slave master, you know, award y'all with a few crumbs and a few trinkets, you know, you all are trained like trained seals, you know, at an aquarium, you know, to jump up for the fucking fish in the air. You know, like a trained motherfucking dolphin. You know, and as long as you're jumping up in the air and cooning, when you jump up in the air, when you jump up for air, gasping for air from the black community, from the self-hatred, you get your fish to bite, because the cracker's standing up there with it in the air on the chair. Here, nigga, just for being a good nigga. Now get back down there and keep oppressing them niggas. Let them know that it's possible. If they want to become coons, they got to get in line. But I remember it was at one time cooning was punishable by death. Now you're rewarded for cooning. Just like you motherfuckers that play to be these big gangsters in the street and drug dealers and all this type of shit, you know, taking the lives of your brothers and sisters in the street, you know, and then when you get jammed up and they offer you an asshole full of time, you know, you turn bitch, you know, and informant and all this motherfucking bullshit. You know, and that should be punishable by death. You know, treason. You know, it's time. It's a time for us to wake up as a people, because it's getting too late. We don't have a whole bunch of time. We do not have a whole bunch of time. You know, and we use. You know, and another shout out to brother Chase Ryan Fest Smith for lighting Dr. Boyce Watkins' ass up. You know, he's just like Al Sharpton and the rest of them motherfuckers. Jesse Jackson, he's Ben Carson. He's in that same category. He's on that same boat as the rest of those motherfucking niggas are. You know, he just tries to play, you know, like he's down for the cause with us. But they always have those type of infiltrators, you know, in the black community. Like Snoop Dogg, putting up gang signs and all this shit. You know. So, you know, it's a stance that we have to take, and you have to come to an understanding of what you're going to do. Because, you know, it's, you know, like I tell y'all, I'm just real with my shit. You know, I can talk a metaphorical, you know, on a metaphorical level and all that type of shit. And, you know, well, when my Venus is in my Jupiter, what I need to do is go outside butt naked in a 90-degree angle under the sun and eat goji berries and, you know, and then tune and holler to the penis gods for strength in my hump. And no, that's not me. I'm not knocking people. If that's your field, if that's your field of expertise, but it's not mine. My field of expertise, because you talking I'm not gonna say ex-con, just a reformed motherfucking warrior. You know, I'm a thugged out goddamn warrior. I'm a thugged out god. You know, meaning I keep this shit, I keep it level, you know, and not just using the highest form of ignorance, you know. I'm talking on a level of just being able to, you know, reach the people, the average person, the average teenager, you know, the average adult, without trying to use all these being so scientific and trying to, you know, flash my intellect card, you know, in front of everybody and you know, and brag about these HBCs that I've attended and all this shit, you know, or the Ivy League shit. That doesn't qualify you as a motherfucking G. You know, it doesn't. That doesn't qualify you as being something. That's what they told you. You got 1 degree. It's 360 degrees in a circle. So whose range of knowledge is broader? Somebody who's been on both sides of the fence, or somebody who's afraid to even go to the fence? You know, and then some of you so-called people that have these, you know, little educations, you went to this school and that school, you have a tendency to look down on the brothers and sisters that may not have had a secondary education or went to the next level in terms of education, you know, and may have been in prison or been in the streets or whatever. But deep down inside, it's really a jealousy and an envy, because you know in your heart, you know you couldn't make it out there, so you envy and you honor and you revere those who have been out there. But as a way of showing, your false pride won't allow you to do that. Your false pride won't allow you to do that. So you find a way to downplay those individuals, you know, by flashing your little degree or whatever, the little teeny ass degree in front of somebody, you know, to make it seem like, you know, you're more educated. To who? Elijah Muhammad dropped out in the 2nd grade. Malcolm didn't finish elementary, you know, and they were on the same level as King. King was in college at 15. But who did King end up following in the end? Who did he end up following in the end? Malcolm and Elijah and Muhammad Ali. So this is just a wake-up call for you, some of you motherfuckers, to, you know, come up off your high horses and all that bullshit. You know, because some of you can become so pro-black that you become goddamn stupid. Just like, you know, you sit up here and say, you know, and a lot of you all are intelligent brothers and sisters, but you sit and smoke motherfucking drugs and all this shit on YouTube. What type of influence does an example does that set for these young gods that look up to you based on your information? But if they see that's the only way that they can be cool, by blazing and putting handcuffs on their brain cells, then you're just part of the problem as well. There's certain things you just do in the privacy of yourself, you know. And it's time for us to wake up. You know, I'm gonna do my best. I don't get on you on social media to just hear myself talk. If I don't have any interesting topics or some information that I may think you may be able to use or that you may not be aware of, then I'll convey it to you through the instructions of the Creator and the ancestors. Because I know it's not about me. We have to realize that we're just being used as messengers in this. This is like an underground railroad. You know, for those, it's because there's some committed brothers and sisters on social media that have their organizations and movements that truly want to see change within the black community. But But then you have those also that have the information and the knowledge and the influence and power. But where are you leading them to? You're leading the sheep to the slaughter because you want to get paid off of them and sell them a dream. Or you want to rip them off for their money, talk them out of their money, and then make them feel like they're dumb or don't know what they're talking about for asking for their money back after they've realized they've been fucked over and bamboozled by your motherfucking punk ass. Because only a punk motherfucker would do shit like that. You know, it's the same way I see people in these, you know, like in the NAAA groups, you know, where the people that've been around a little longer than the people that are coming in. You know, of course, they may have more of a shine to them. It may have more material items or whatever than the people just arriving, just coming off the streets. But the people coming off the streets are more vulnerable to the ones that they see that's supposed to be examples to them. But a lot of those use the glitz and glamour to sex the vulnerable people up, which ultimately sends a lot of the sisters back out there because they've just gotten off their backs, and then you put them right on their backs. The only difference is it's just not a stem around. Same behavior, no substances. So, and it's the same way in the so-called conscious community and all that, you know. So we have to take the information, you know, not just put the information out, but be an example at the same time. Or this will be just another hustle for your ass. You know, and if you're gonna hustle, don't do it the coward way by sitting on social media. Just go in the streets. You get paid quicker and more faster, and it's much more dangerous. But see, a lot of you ain't gonna do that because you don't have the heart. You don't have no street cred, so you're not gonna be allowed to be even out there in that underworld like that. You know, so. You know, just some words of advice and words of wisdom, you know, and some wake-up calls. And so, till we meet again, brothers and sisters, Hotep Black Power.